Another Black Girl Podcast. Hey y'all, this is your host Lauren from Another Black Girl Podcast, as per the theme song, duh. I just wanted to get on here and say that I thank you so much for your support. Since the last episode, the number of total plays on my primary platform, which is Anchor, has basically doubled. The estimated audience size increased by 10, and I've gained 2 monthly supporters on Anchor. My Apple Podcast audience has increased as well, and there's 14% more men. So hey boys. And there is also 4% more non-binary people listening to this podcast. So hey siblings, I see y'all. Thanks for tuning in. The last episode I said that I had listeners in the United States and France. Now I have listeners in the United States, the UK, Spain, France, Argentina, and Germany. So I see y'all too. Thanks for tuning in. If you also want to become a sponsor, you can go to my primary podcasting platform, which is Anchor. So it's anchor.fm/anotherbgp. And at the top of the page, under the title and the small description, there's a support button, and you can support monthly and also enter how much you'd like to contribute, because we live in America and things aren't free. So if you got the coins, if you can afford it, thanks. I appreciate you. And if you don't, I'm still so grateful for the support, and thank you for being my internet friend. So, for this episode, it's not really an episode. I wanted to switch it up a little and read some original poetry as a bonus. And then maybe close with some affirmations, because why not? I'll be reading some original poetry that was written a few years ago by me, and if you went to school with me, and if you were in my graduating class, you already know the poem. Sorry. But yeah, the poem is called Stomach It. I have never met someone with arms as long as yours. I've never been with someone that feels like home. The only thing I've ever experienced is spoiled and tainted versions of love served by broken and hungry people. I swallowed it until I couldn't stomach it anymore. My pride held my mouth open, while my self-pity fed me more. Equally as strong, these two combated and fatigued me until there was nothing left. Nothing. Empty and with a bad taste still in my mouth, I stumbled and I fumbled. I convinced myself that I didn't need what I needed most. I saw the scraps of hope and love I was given and convinced myself that I didn't need any more. I suddenly threw up the scraps of hope and love that I allowed myself to swallow. After pouring and bearing and giving and sharing and tearing apart my heart that lived in the pit of my stomach, I was nothing but a mind-numbing rhythm that rumbled through each unfulfilling part of my body. I was nothing but a misplaced heart that had found its way to the pit of my stomach. Hungry, empty, and with a half-consumed heart, I found my way into your arms. Your long arms wrapped around me and fed me more love than I could take. They kept me warm through the longest nights where I heaved and gurgled up, retreated, and had withdrawals. Nights where I fought because I wasn't being served those painful plates I thought I deserved. They kept me warm until I felt like summer, until I felt like flowers in the spring, until I felt like a phoenix rising, until I felt that I had love to offer everything. Thank you. Y'all know y'all weren't about to get on this podcast and not hear that applause button, but you know what? That's besides the point. So anyway, that was an original piece written by Laura, whatever you want to call me, who cares? So stay tuned for some affirmations coming up next. The one affirmation I have for y'all today is, I am whole. I know most of the people who are listening are millennials, and a lot of us feel like we don't really know what we're doing, including me, which is, I don't want to say totally fine. But that's where we're at right now. And I mean, those feelings can lead to self-doubt. I mean, I know they have for me. Maybe they haven't for you, and I don't want to project. But for me, it's led to a lot of self-doubt and has caused me to waver in faith and hope and trust in myself, trust in God's plan. It's hard, you know? So I mean, more than anything else, I need to hear and know and be sure of within myself that I am whole. In time, everything is going to work out. Everything's going to be okay. It might not be the way we planned it. It might not have been what we saw for ourselves 5 or 10 or 2 minutes ago. But it is all going to work out, and it's all going to be okay. I don't know how. And I know getting back to a sense of normalcy after a pandemic is gonna be a lot. But in the end, we are going to be okay. We're gonna be all right, just like Kendrick said. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for listening to my original poetry. If you want to support and become a monthly supporter of this podcast, you can go to anchor.fm/anotherbgp and click the support button. As always, follow me on Instagram at anotherbgi, follow me on Facebook at anotherbgf, and on Twitter, follow me at anotherbgt. And on all platforms, I am hosting a giveaway, so please enter to win on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. I am literally giving away free stuff. All you have to do is enter to win, and I guess I'm going to pick a winner. So please enter if you want some merch. Enter. I mean, like, what do you have to lose, right? So whatever. Thanks for tuning into this bonus. Let me know if you want to do some more stuff like this, or if you want to hear more stuff like this. That's more appropriate. Let me know if you want to have some bonuses that are very like artsy. Some original music, some poetry, you know, just stuff like this. So anyways, thank you to all my brothers, sisters, siblings, internet friends, friends from around the world, to everyone who's tuning in, to my AARP Club baddies. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And yeah, stay tuned for next week's episode. This is another Black Girl Podcast. We're doing our best to make it last. This is another Black Girl Podcast. We're doing our best to make it last. Another Black Girl Podcast. Bye. See you next week.